Right, let's do an audio and visual check. Can you guys hear and see me okay? Let's see. That's the signal. Good evening. Good evening, Odie. All the same. Let's get a few things set up on my end. All good. So I'm going to go fast, and then we'll jump into gold like we've been analyzing this gold trade for a while now, but let's get started. So welcome everybody. Welcome to Slow Markets. I'm Coach Dakota, Coach DBA. There's our top step risk disclosure. Everything I talk about and say is for educational purposes only. It is not a signals class. That being said, this is a 60-minute gold chart, and you can see we are in a beautiful zone here in gold. You know, this used to be a nice support zone around 2340 to 2350. And this was support. You know, this has showing as resistance. So maybe this is another opportunity for gold to be resistance and sell off. We're not sure. Let's zoom into a 5-minute time frame and we'll start to break down what we're looking at. If there's any opportunities, the trade that we've been looking at is getting into a short. We do see that this is a consolidation, zone, a channel, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to look to see if we can get into a short. It looks like we rallied up, we tested it, and now we're right back down into the middle of this channel. So a few things I'm thinking is maybe having a stop loss up above this, like above 2345. If we do start to break down, maybe some take profits around 2341. I'm just thinking out loud right here, and we're going to go fast. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to zoom into a 1 minute. So I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to take a look and see, are there opportunities? Now, the question that we've been looking at is, is there a trade? And if there is a trade, how do we get in it, right? Are we going to be getting in at a better, right? Are we going to get better price? Are we going to get a good risk reward? Or are we going to wait for that confirmation? I've been on the side of just kind of waiting for that confirmation. So I think that's what we do. I think I wait for that confirmation to see if we break down. And now the question I'm thinking about is, do we wait for a break? We still have, well, it's right here right now. What would we consider a break? Like, is this a break right now? Are we just going to jump into a trade? Yep, I think that's the break. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I should pull up the DOM. And that would give me a better idea. So I'm going to put a stop loss up here. And is that too wide of a stop loss is the next question. I'm going to think about risk first. Risk is what I'm thinking about. It's right at the top of the hour. And we're shorting gold. And we're going to continue to watch this. Did you guys see Brett? Was it Brett or Dan? One of our risk managers was mentioning, made a whole card for me today and was mentioning that we're going over gold, and even kind of got me inclined to take gold in my live account. But let me do this. I see somebody pull up a DOM. Let's do that. Let's pull up a DOM. This is a sim. Let me pull up, because we're doing this in a sim account. Let's pull up gold and see if I'm horrible at reading this. I'm not good at reading DOM. Let's see if I could get it set up. Because I took the short gold on my live account the very first time we took it. And then I haven't taken it since. So let's see how this looks. How's that? Does that look okay for you guys? Because I'm curious. Let's see what we could see here. I know Coach Jay, Rips, and all those professional DOM readers, whatever you want to call it. They are so much better than I am. Let me see if I could see. We can see down to 338. We could watch these orders, and we could watch this trade play out. So we did get in. Now the question that I'm just immediately thinking out loud now is, did we get in early? Could we have waited for a break below 23.42? So could we, should have, and maybe I could start putting polls in, and let's see what your guys' opinion is. Should we have waited for confirmation, waited for a break of 23.42? Should we have waited a little bit earlier? Maybe there's a reason to say maybe we could have waited for a break above 23. This is a 1 minute chart, 23.43.2, because there was a pivot right there at 23.43. So there is something to be said, just waiting for this, waiting for the higher probable trade. I got in as soon as we started to break down a little bit at the top of the hour, right at 8 p.m. Central. And the next is, should I have my stop loss? Should we have our stop loss up above 46? Should we have it closer towards where the breakout, like maybe at 23.44.7? Should we, I mean, there's so many different ways to analyze this trade. Should we lower our position size and have a wider stop loss? And all these things is what I think of when I'm analyzing a trade, when I'm understanding, like, this is a new trade. This is what I should be thinking of. This is, am I doing this correct? Should I be trading this? And there's so many different ways to trade it. I'm sure you guys do it so many different ways as well. And then, yeah, maybe we could have scaled in, right? Where we could have got in one and then continued to get in and scale in as we break down. Is definitely another option, is scaling in instead of just getting all 5 at once. Maybe we just wait and get in like 5 as we start to break down through various levels. So many different things, right? There's so many different ways we could think about this. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's what we're here for, right? Is we're analyzing how to trade gold at this time for this particular trade, because there could be there's something here, right? It's open. We've been seeing these nice gold sell-offs. There's definitely something here, and we're trying it, right? It's worked out a few times. It's worked out really well a few times. We got stopped out once. The other times it's worked out great, right? I think we're net positive, like to the good, quite a bit. Like we're positive probably $6,000 or $7,000 on this gold trade at 8 p.m. Central, where we've been stopped out a couple times. One, we got stopped out for profit. The other, we got stopped out for minus $900. Yeah, so immediately right now, we are still stuck in this range, this channel, and we're not really breaking. So I am more inclined to move at a tighter stop loss, manage my risk, and pretty much say, you know what? If the trade was going to happen, it would have happened already. It's already been 5 minutes. I'm not really seeing anything. I do see 33 at, 23.45. We have 34 at 45.2. That's pretty much it. I mean, then again, we have pretty much 50 at 40. It is a holiday in the U.S. tomorrow. It's a bank holiday. I don't know if that's going to be playing too much of effect. I don't think we have anything else up in terms of news tonight. Let's see. It's Tuesday night, right? Yeah, not really much. I mean, we have Britain CPI, core CPI for pound. Let's just watch it. We'll just let this trade play out. We would be getting in if we would have waited. So let's see if we could get this breakdown. Now we're starting to see a pickup in speed. Okay, Now let's start thinking about take profits. I'm going to move this DOM out of the way. If I see something, I'll bring it up. Dang. Okay, let's think about take profits. Take profits. The first one I'm liking is maybe... Ooh, I want to change my quantity size. Let's go ahead and get in one. I like that. I like 23.38 just because we do see this. I do see some support here at that zone. So I'm okay with trying to get out of a couple there. That's a good risk reward, right? There's the risk, 3-to-1, 2-to-1 risk reward on these first contracts. Maybe I just get out of 3 right there. So a good risk reward on that. Then I do like maybe for some stretch targets down here at the 3.339. So that could be one, and then maybe leave a runner on and trail that one. That could be something to it. Maybe we don't get the breakdown. Maybe that was the push, because that wasn't really much of a breakdown to me. I thought it would have broke down a lot more. And we've seen that little spike in volatility. Let's watch it. We see 48 contracts at 23.40. So we have, I mean, that's still far, a little bit further than that. We'll just watch. We'll watch. I think we might as well just let this trade play out. And I'm going to go through our regular slow markets, rapid fire or whatever. So I'm going to go through the NASDAQ, crude oil, and the Nikkei, and I'm going to start our regular slow markets, guys. Could you guys keep an eye on this for me, as always? If you guys could, just keep an eye out for me. So give me just 1 second. I'm going to get a drink of water, and we're going to go through the NASDAQ, crude oil, and go through that. Yeah, we'll see how this trade plays out. We'll go back and forth. Hopefully it works out again. Like I said, I see the liquidity at 23.40. So there is liquidity down here if we break. So here's the NASDAQ. I do have a trade going on in the NASDAQ. Let's go a 60-minute chart. I'm going to actually just get rid of this one. Okay, let's talk about the NASDAQ, and if gold starts to move, just shout out to me, please. So here's the daily. Man, NVIDIA, right? I have nothing to say. I think NVIDIA just by itself held up the markets. Today was something else. I was expecting a consolidation day. We got that consolidation day. I was actually wanting more of a pullback, right? Like, look at this consolidation. I was wanting, a bit more of a pullback. We did have a pullback. That was great. We didn't just keep going and breaking out. And I'm still bearish. I'm still a bear. I'm going to be a bear until we get some more consolidation, some type of a pullback. I think that's all there is to it. From my standpoint and my view is, was this the pullback? And if we zoom into a 60-minute chart, then we ask ourselves, like, was that the pullback? Maybe that might have been. Of course, I was looking to get, 20,100, maybe even a push all the way down, an extreme push to maybe the key psychological level 20,000. So I was looking for more of a pullback there. We did get the break. We got the break, and that was very fast and short-lived. You could look here back on June 13th. Like, these were the pullbacks. And we didn't even get that big of a pullback. It was not even that big of a pullback. In comparison. So it's just so strange to me. The market, we all know the market could be more like irrational longer than we could stay solvent. We know, we understand that. I would have thought we would have had a much bigger pullback yesterday or today during the New York session, but NVIDIA just held it all the way up. Now the question is, what are we looking at tonight? What are we going to look at going into tomorrow? It's, the bank holiday for the U.S. I'm going to say I'm not going to expect much. I believe that we're going to just hold this channel. there is an argument to be said, and this is something I'm going to be looking at. I think we're going to have much low volatility. It's going to be very choppy. And if anything, like I said, I'm going to continue to be a bear in the NASDAQ until we get a pullback or longer consolidation. If we continue to just maybe do something like this, maybe just chop around, who knows? If we can continue to get that contraction, that consolidation, then I would say, you know, that we don't need a deep pullback. We're just consolidating, and then we could get a nice expansion to the upside. But until then, I'm bearish the NASDAQ, and it's going to be hard for me to trade. I already have a difficult time trading to the downside. It was rollover. We're finally getting over rollover. Maybe there is a trade to be on, and it's something I am looking to between tonight and tomorrow, where maybe we could get into some cheap shorts right here in this zone. And this is something I'm thinking of, is getting into some cheap shorts, having a stop loss above the highs, and then maybe targeting below 100s or below 200s. So just something like this. Let's say we get in short in this zone, and we're able to get in short, for example, at 214. We have a stop loss up high, you know, maybe a smaller position, and we could get some type of a good risk reward. I'm going to be looking at this. Yeah, I just, as hard as it is I just don't expect a big break to new all-time highs tonight, tomorrow, during the bank holiday. We definitely need, I don't want to say need consolidation. It would be healthy for the markets to consolidate. And I would say the probabilities are a lot better that we consolidate and be choppy rather than break up and go to the north side. So I definitely like consolidation, and maybe we come back down, push these lows, maybe we even get lower, not sure. That's what I'm looking at for the NASDAQ. No longs for me. I am a bear on the NASDAQ until we consolidate and go and whatever, pull back. Next, let's talk about crude oil. Crude oil is a 60-minute chart. Actually, real quick, let's take a look at this gold trade. Gold's not doing anything. Is there something for us to do? No, I don't want to move my stop loss. I think my stop loss is fine where it's at. I'm just going to continue to let gold play out. Now let's talk about crude oil. Crude, we broke up. We broke above $80 a barrel, guys. So does that mean, are we going to start targeting $83 a barrel? I think so. I think that's what my next zone is going to be, is close to the, $83 a barrel here in crude oil. Essentially, we did break out. There is something that we could start to see play into effect. I don't know if this is going to play, but from a technical standpoint, this is something I am going to be watching. Could we see another push up to here? Like, this has been a resistance trend line for crude. If we get up, maybe there is something to be said where we could get a pullback, but I don't want to sell crude oil. I want to be looking to long. We haven't got the pullback I've been wanting. Maybe this is another situation. It happened to me back at the beginning of the year where, that's not what I wanted. So at the beginning of the year, when we first got that nice break above 80, I was sitting on my hands waiting for crude oil to pull back, and it never did pull back. So I think we're in the same situation where I'm just waiting, sitting on my hands, waiting for crude oil to have some type of a good pullback, and it's not letting me get into a long crude. So if we do pull back, what am I looking for? Like, where would I want this thing to pull back to look for some long opportunities? I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I do not know. Maybe a pullback down to 950. Like, I don't know. It's so hard. I think I'm just going to maybe a pullback to 80. Yeah, I see a pullback to 80 being reasonable. I think I'm just going to say I must wait until the market tells me in crude to get in, because who knows, maybe we get a nice sell-off or a pullback all the way back. Man, that's kind of stretching it. I mean, if we do get a pullback down to $78 a barrel, then yeah, I'd be excited to buy it. Until then, yeah, I see hard hat trading saying 80, approximately 80, just some type of a pullback to buy it. I like that 80 level. I do, because this was support. And if we're going to break into this consolidation in this new range right here between 83 and 80, then it would be reasonable to say a pullback to 80 is a decent buy. So I do like that. I'm going to wait and see what crude does. I'm going to just kind of be a wait and see and kind of react, looking for opportunities to get long on crude. Gold still hasn't done anything. We did break down. We're staying below that channel. We're staying below, 2342 and a half. So I still like this. It's still looking good. We're just taking forever. We're already 20 minutes into the session. And so now I'm starting to ask myself this is gold, okay? So the next question is, do we put a time stop, right? Because the trade is essentially a move or a break during the beginning of slow markets class. And the question is, do we just put a time stop to where if we don't get any movement, do I just close out for wherever we're at and manage risk? Do I just move my stop loss maybe below this pivot? That's what I'm thinking through right now, because a time stop is reasonable if the reason why you're getting into a trade has an element of time, right? Because I'm getting into this trade because it is 8 p.m. Central Standard Time and there's an opportunity at this time. So there is something to be said to this. Now, maybe there's something where I could close out 3 contracts. Like, this is also an option. I close out a portion, right, where I could close out 3 contracts now, and then I just trail the last one and say, it's it's a time stop. I time stopped out of X amount of contracts, and then I can move my stop loss to break even. And then if for some reason we do break down, then I don't miss the move. There's something like that. Let's see how this plays out. I want to see how it plays out. Let's keep in mind, I want to put that as a theory, is we time stop, we close out of 3 contracts now, or maybe we do something like this. Like, maybe this might be a little bit more advanced, but we could also put like a stop for 3 here, and then we could change another stop, because we could have multiple stops. We could do something like this. We could have 2 stops. We could get stopped out for this one for 3, and then we could have our stop up here. Like, that is something. I do like this pivot, though. I like this pivot. We are starting to sell off. So I think I'm going to make that choice. I'm going to move my stop to in the money. And I like that. Instead of being time stopped, I could either close it out right now, or I could just move my stop, and this is a guaranteed win. Coach Jay, you're sure also thinking about trimming some and leaving the original stop for the last one? Yeah, I mean, Coach Jay, what are you seeing? I don't see much liquidity. I think that's what you guys call it. Like, we see the 44 contracts at 23.40. I have my take profits just below that. We do see a 35 one there at 39. We are pushing a little bit lower, kind of just consolidating. We didn't really get that big break we've usually been seeing. Basically locked in profits. We've made money no matter what. This is just a simulated account. Coach Jay, you're not seeing anything on the books? Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? Because there's so many ways that we could manage the trade. Sometimes maybe even the right way is just to let it play out. But I like this. I like the idea of just not closing it, just locking in the profit and saying, well, no matter what happens, we're not going to lose money on this trade, kind of like a time stop. I mean, we could just close it out for plus 700, but then if we do sell off, we're kind of screwing up the statistics on it. Yeah, 23.36, there's about 50. 23, yeah, there's 59 at 23.36. Yeah, let's watch it. I'm going to just move my stop there and let's see. There is something to be said that if it's taking too long, we could just close it out at wherever it's at. But this is a simulated account, and this is for educational, and we're talking through it. And then once we feel confident on how gold reacts at this time, then we start taking it in a live account, because then it's time where I feel confident, and this is how we gain that confidence to say, okay, this is my trading plan for this particular trade on gold. I'm going to get into X amount of contracts. This is how I'm going to get in. This is where I'm going to put my stop loss. This is how I'm going to manage it. So if this happens, I do that. If that happens, I do this, and get a really good game plan. So I feel very confident that when I do trade this in my live account, there's none of these questions. Like, I'm asking these questions, and I'm going through this in my head right now in a simulated environment and practicing. So when it comes to the live environment and to take it in my live account, I'm prepared. I'm ready, right? And we love sports analogies. And it's just like any sports athlete who's practicing, specific shots, things on the court, things whatever they're doing. And they get these questions out. They understand it. What should we do? What should we do? What's our game plan? If the other team does this, I should do that. Like, should we manage time specifically? What should we do? And then when it comes to the live performance on, and under the lights in a live environment, in a live account, then there's no hesitation, right? Then it's like this is the statistics. This has been proven. This is how everything is going to be working out. We know in the long run that there's going to be a positive expectancy, and then there's no hesitation. There's no question. So that way I could take these trades and I could take a loss and a loss and a loss. And like, okay, you know what? It doesn't matter what the market does. I'm going to trade this trade because I know, based off of, my preparation and my practice and preparing, just like what we're doing right now, we know what to expect, right? And so far, I do like this trade. And you could see that even though there's over 2,000 of us here in this class, maybe a lot more, who is looking at this same trade. So all of us, all 2,000 of you guys and myself, we're watching this trade. We know what's happening right at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now, some of us will make money. Some of us will lose money. And the key to this, because essentially it's like, here, guys, here's the trade. Here's the key to the house. And, here's the trade I've been analyzing for the last month. And some of you guys, myself included, could, just depending on how they manage it, will lose money, right? It's like, well, we did sell off in the end, but we lost money because maybe we were a little bit too hesitant. We waited for the break, maybe all the way down to 23.42. I actually got short down here, and then I got stopped out and I lost money. Or maybe someone was getting in up here and they got stopped out on this little wick, on this little run of 23.44. I mean, there's so many ways to mess up trading, and it sucks. You can essentially give everybody the same game plan, and everybody will trade it differently. That's the reality of it. So, man, we did come back down, test it, and we're pushing back up. My confidence in this trade is not that great. But I'll take a scratch. I mean, to me, this is a scratch. To me, I'm just considering this trade as basically a scratch if we do get up and take this. Plus, what? 200 plus $150. But the opportunity was there, and looks like we're getting a nice reversal. So there we go. That was it. Plus 200 bucks on that one. So take that as you will. We did have that opportunity. Gold just decided not to break down. I'm considering that a scratch. Plus 100 or 200 bucks, 150 bucks. I'm okay with that. Now, I'm also going to watch gold. So I'm going to watch gold in terms of what would have happened if we just left our stop up here, up at 23.45 per se. And what would have happened if we left our stop up there and we just let the trade run out. So that is something that we do need to also pay attention to and watch is, are we over managing this trade? If we would have just placed it, let it go, how would the trade and the statistics be any different? Because I could almost guarantee you maybe there's going to be some examples where we come up, we consolidate, and then we sell off, right? And there's going to be some examples where we go up and we hit our stop loss for up here. So there's always going to be give or take in the market. I'm going to watch this, and I would encourage you guys to watch to see, however you're trading gold or however you're placing these trades, analyze it. Maybe you have a bad trade, analyze it to see, what would have happened if this or what would have happened with that. Even if you have a great trade, maybe we had an amazing trade and we did hit our take profit, and then we turn around and get stopped out, then ask yourself the same questions like, oh, well, there's always going to be room for improvement no matter what. But there's another trade, another night, another trade. And same thing tomorrow. So I will be here tomorrow night, and I'm going to be looking at the same exact thing. We're going to be going over it again and again. And tomorrow is the U.S. holiday. Maybe that has some type of effect. Who knows? But I will be here tomorrow. And let's get to some questions, and we'll get back to analyzing it. So as always, we have amazing moderating team who sends me these questions if I didn't get to them. So ask me some questions. Almost to 100,000 subscribers. Yeah, I've been trying to figure out what Topstep's going to do if we get to 100,000 subscribers. They haven't told me yet. So, isn't the point of the trade to short it at the same time every day until the pattern breaks? I'm fan tab. The point of looking at gold at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time is to take advantage of an opportunity where the market tends to get some volatility, and it seems like more often lately it's been selling off at 8 p.m. Central. And we've went through and we've seen in the past it doesn't always sell off. Sometimes there has been examples of it rallying. But yeah, you could say you want to short it exactly at 8 p.m. Central and then do it. I'm looking for a way to have some type of a signal to get in, not just come in and blindly close my eyes and short it. That might work, right? Obviously, we've seen it work for a little bit, but I want to be getting in with a reason and be able to duplicate that rather than just blindly closing it. And maybe there is even something to be said instead of getting in short. If we break up, there could also be a potential to get in long at the same time, right? So maybe 8 p.m. Central Standard Time comes, we consolidate, and we find a reason to get in long. We don't want to be completely biased to where it's just short golds only at 8 p.m. As of right now, yeah, short has been paying. It's been to the short side. And then maybe it starts changing. We never know. What else? What do you think about keeping the market 24 hours open? Vladimir, if the market was open 24/7, that would be very difficult for a lot of traders psychologically. Traders need a break. Humans need a break. Trust me, I know. A lot of times, I need a break. Fridays, as of late, besides this last Friday, I made money. Coach Jay, everybody knows, Fridays have been horrible with me. And if I didn't have a break on Friday or over the weekend, then I would be too tempted to trade over the weekend. It just opens the more doors to lose money, to get frustrated. I don't know. Maybe Others have a different opinion, obviously, where that could provide opportunities. But I'm for the camp that traders need a break. Especially trading is one of the most stressful jobs, if not the most stressful career path, where it's hard on us psychologically. And if we're not forced to take a break, we like to self-sabotage. How do you deal with FOMO? Kind of to go with what I was referring to is analyze your trade, know your statistics, know the long expectancy of your trading plan. Dakota, any travel plans or trips coming up? Yes, I stay tuned. I'm not going to break any news yet, but yes, Rips, I do. And I think the traders here have a little bit of an idea of my travel plans or a trip. But that is to be announced. So stay tuned. Maybe I announce it. Maybe I just talk about it when we get to 100,000 subscribers. And it's not going to. It's not Chicago. Yes, everyone, you guys know. Let's see. Why you set the 3 exits that close? Why not the 3 in the same spot rather than more separate? I think someone was asking a question about those stop losses. Like, where do I put my stop losses? Why have them so close? Like I said, this is a sim account right now, and we are understanding how to trade this. There's so many different ways to trade this. One is to have a tight stop. One is to have a more loose stop. So many different ways. Robbie, Coach Dakota, I've heard you describe yourself as a technical trader more recently. Can you explain what's the difference between technical and other coaches at Topstep? So I've been at Topstep for less than a year. All of the coaches here are so amazing. Coach Jay, Coach Ray, Coach Robert. We all have different trading styles. If you joined me last Wednesday and the Wednesday before that, I had Coach Jay on, and he's more of an order flow, order book trader. And some of the other coaches, they have a mix, but every trader and every coach here is very good at what they do. I'm more of technical analysis. Like you see, the way I trade, you see that I do not even really look at the DOM. I don't really look at order flow. It's pure technicals. When I do my analysis on these markets, it's pure technicals. For example, here's the Nikkei. That's the Japanese market. I haven't really touched base on it yet. I would be looking that maybe there's an opportunity. Maybe is there an opportunity to get long, right? Where, for example, we break out, we come back, we retest, and then maybe there's an opportunity to get long in the Nikkei for a test of 39,000. That is just an example of the way that I look at it. Other coaches use different techniques, and they vary differently. My strong suggestion is if you're new, maybe come into our Discord and talk to some of the other coaches, join some of the other coaches' classes, because we all have our own strengths and weaknesses. Some coaches use profile. Yep. So many different ways to trade. Let's see. Markets haven't really done anything. It's slow markets, guys. Markets are just dead. Bank holiday tomorrow. Not expecting much. That is for sure. Wow. Time is not going by too fast. I was thinking it's close to the end of class. We still have 20 minutes. We started a little bit early, though. Let's see. Any more questions? I mean, to be honest, I don't mind ending class a little bit early. Yeah, on that note, yeah, I would always recommend Topstep's Discord. The coaches are amazing. We have that new AI bot. If you've played around with that, let me know. I'm sure that's probably helped. We have support in our Discord. We have it's an amazing community that Topstep has built in Discord. That is for sure. And that's what brought me to Topstep. It really has. 50,000 or 150. So 50K or 150K. I recommend a 50K. No sense of putting in and paying for a 150 account until you feel confident that you could pass a combine. Because if you can't pass in a 50K account combine, you can't. Can you really even pass in a 50K combine or 150K combine? No sense to spend more money than you need to. And there is another reason why I love Topstep is because they don't really just push their 150K accounts and saying, buy this. Hogue, Coach Roberts, the whole entire team will always say, if you're unsure, if you're hesitant, go with 50K, start small, get your feet wet, learn how to trade, and then gain your confidence from there. 100,000. Yeah, I have some show notes, guys. Some show notes, and it's about and they still will. It's such a secret. 100,000 subscribers. They have something big planned, and they will not tell me. And you guys see me asking. I asked MP this morning, and I asked Friday. I'm not sure what is going to go on when they hit 100K subscribers, and we're just about there. But all I could say is be here. You definitely want to be here. If the past is anything of a, I guess, hint at what is to come if we hit 100K subscribers, I'm pretty sure there's going to be something, like maybe some giveaway. I don't know. I could only guess. Today there was a nice giveaway, I think, during TopstepTV, which is nice. No guests this week. Tomorrow is a bank holiday. There will not be any guests from my end. Yeah, a pizza party. Yeah, we just hit a huge milestone. We'll pizza party it. Everybody gets a pizza or a slice. What giveaway? Large banana. We're just talking about once we get to 100,000 subscribers at Topstep. And I've been watching these markets, and nothing is happening at all. The markets are as slow as it gets. The markets are dead, absolutely dead. Nothing happening. It's bank holiday for the U.S. Everybody's on vacation, and I'm here. Tomorrow, I will be here tomorrow. It's going to be technically Thursday, and the bank holiday will be over. So maybe we see some more volatility tomorrow night. Let me see. What big news do we have this week? Do we have anything? No, we don't have anything until Friday. So maybe Thursday we have our unemployment claims, of course, building permits, Philly Fed, and then Friday we have our flash manufacturing. So maybe we just see this chop until Thursday, Friday, and maybe that will also help my thesis or theory or what I was talking about in the markets, where we just see chop until then. I would not be surprised if between tonight and tomorrow we see below 20,200. This is a key. I think that maybe by tonight, maybe tomorrow, we get back below this and start to test these lows. Yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna go. So someone says, can you pick a topic to go over each night so over time we can master piece by piece trading? I agree with that. I really like that idea, and that's something that I am going to be doing. Because I've wondered, before I moved over to YouTube, my class is on Discord, and I want to know your guys' thoughts. What are your thoughts about that? Where every week, and I'm thinking weekly, not nightly, every week I have like some type of a topic that you guys want me to go over, and you guys vote on it. So for example, let's just say, for example, everybody wants to know how I use a 100-tick chart. And so next week, whenever I do have time, like right now, I spend my free time that if I do have it, if the markets are just slow like this, then my free time is spent talking solely about that 100 tick chart for that entire week. And then maybe the next week we talk about something else, but something I trade with, right? I don't trade the DOM, and so it'd be too hard for me to say this week I'm going to be teaching the DOM. Why the heck would I teach the DOM if I do not know how to trade it myself? I would defer to another teacher or someone else who is a much better trader than I am at that specific tool. I will talk mainly just about the things that I am comfortable teaching and talking about. So yes, what about the 3-bar reversal? Man, I need to just create a video on how to do a 3-bar reversal. I get so many questions on that, and to me, it's just, for me, it's simple. On the 1 hour chart, this is a 1 hour chart on the NASDAQ. 3-bar reversal is right here. You can see it on the chart. I'm going to circle it for you. You can find so many resources online what a 3-bar reversal is. So this is the main candle right here. I have highlighted. So that's the main candle. Let me see if I could circle it. And the 3-bar reversal is technically when the price breaks below the bar's low on an uptrend or high on a downtrend. So it's one of the most simplest forms of technical analysis of pattern recognition there is. But my teaching and my coaching is going to be primarily evolve around risk management and technical scaling in, scaling out, and those sorts of stuff. Those sorts of things. That's what I'll be talking about primarily. NASDAQ's catching a bid. Is that fair to say in slow markets? Catching a bid? NASDAQ catching a bid in slow markets. Yeah, I don't know if that's the right thing to say. I don't know if catching a bid. Is that catching a bid, guys? I seen you chew Andre out. Chat gave Andre a hard time for saying that. The market is going up. We're breaking to the upside. We're squeezing. Man, that could have been a good trade if I was watching it. I don't know if we want to. I don't know. Now I'm just being nitpicky on a smaller time frame. I still think there's room to the downside. I could be wrong, but I think I'm going to call it a night, guys. I'm freaking tired. I've been starting class a little bit early lately. I'm going to be here tomorrow. And if there's not too many more questions, I'm going to head off. Let me see. I started on a 150K combine. I'm going to check one more thing. Yeah, this is a tiny move. So it's hard for me to say catch a bid when it's a move like that. Gold ready to go down. Let's see. Yeah, markets are not moving. Like, if that's the biggest move of the night. Gold's bouncing. Okay, I think that's it, guys. There's really not much. There's really not much going on and not too much to talk about. I'm going to end class early tonight, guys. I'm going to consider this my my little vacation, or my day off is ending class 15 minutes early. Other than that, I will see you tomorrow. Remember, no TopstepTV tomorrow, correct? Tomorrow's Wednesday. I will be tomorrow night. And until then, I will see you then.